Wow, this lighting really is not doing me any favors. It is only day 1. I am 50% through book 1, and I am highly regretting this decision of mine. The first book I decided to go with was the Amity book by Christy Rich, just because it was the only book on my TBR that I hadn't previously read, and I am not having a good time. The writing, it's killing me. The writing is not a writing style that I prefer. I don't love it. Also, the main character, girl, I can't. Like I had mentioned in my TBR video, if you haven't watched that, go watch it. Like I mentioned in that video, this is a elemental series. It's supposed to have elemental magic in it. So far, I am 52% in, and I have yet to see a drop of elemental magic. So, I'm disappointed. But there's also fae in this book, and it wasn't what I was expecting. The main character is like, she's suffering hard from a case of dumb bitch syndrome, so that should tell you everything. Like, this girl, they are telling her, you cannot travel alone because these fae lords are gonna grab you. So what does this hoe do? She goes off by herself multiple times. I cannot with this main character. Like, she's just dumb, and the storyline is just really choppy and messy. Like, I get that we're supposed to be discovering things with her, but it's bad. It makes for a very choppy reading experience, and you have like these subplots going that you know are gonna relate to the main plot, but for right now they're just subplots, and it's just like, it's too messy, too choppy. The main character sucks. I am not having a good time, but I will push on. I'm going to finish this book, but this is really just like setting the tone for the rest of the books, for the rest of this vlog. This vlog might just be me suffering for the entirety of December. Why do I do this to myself? Day 2, it is December 2nd, and I have finished the first book on my TBR. Although, to be fair, I started it November 30th. I cheated a little bit, but only because I didn't want to start a new book on Monday, which was November 30th, because I was worried I wasn't going to finish it in a day, and I just wanted to start on my TBR. I cheated a little bit, but oh my goodness! In case you can't tell, Holly lives a very extremely spoiled life. Her father spoils the heck out of her, and Holly lives for it. My forehead is shiny AF. As I was saying, I finished Amity by Christy Rich, and it was not good. It did not get better at all. Harems, reverse harems, not for me. Too many options. The world building, towards the end we go into their fairy world. I think it was called like Fairesia or something like that. Not a lot of world building. You just know that it's like so beautiful and so otherworldly that it was hard for the main character to even look or perceive everything clearly. The main character stayed dumb the entire way through. We had a love interest that was a little bit more believable in terms of romance. They interacted a little bit more. I still feel like it was a little insta-lovey, but I was able to roll with it just because they did, like, that was my dog. They did interact, meet a little bit more, but then there was this second love interest introduced, and it's like, girl, you spent 2/3 of this book hating this person, and all of a sudden you spend like half a day with them, and you're like, who do I choose? Woe is me. I don't know who to choose. At the end of this book, she's like stuck on these 2 love interests. The plot was so messy. I'm still so confused. I just wasn't able to submerge myself into this world, into this book. There were so many moments and things that were happening that just kept taking me out of the moment. I really want to give this book a 2 stars just because I hate 1-starring books. I don't know. It just makes me feel terrible. But but this is a 1-star book. I didn't enjoy it. I could not name a single thing that I actually enjoyed about this book. Like, the entire time, I'm just like, you're dumb. Why is that happening? How does that make sense? Like, what is going on? There's 3 other books in this series, and I have zero interest to read any of them. Like, this is the end for this series for me. It just was not good. Oh my God. Holly got a haircut recently, and I don't love it. It was a new groomer. Oh God. And they just cut her hair just very weirdly. Holly is such a needy dog. Like, do you see this? Oh. Can I film this one section and then I will go back to giving you all the attention that you want and desire? Could you possibly allow that? She's debating it. Nope. Girl, my knees. I got bad knees. She yanked on my hair. Look at this! For the record, I blame her father for Holly's absolute spoiled behavior. Anyways, hello guys. How we doing? Long time no see. My fiance and I had to go into quarantine due to our exposure to someone whose wife had tested positive. So that was a not fun time. Thankfully, the entire time we had no symptoms, which I know is not saying much because obviously there are a lot of people who are asymptomatic with this virus, but we got our test results 1 or 2 days ago and they came back negative. Thank goodness. My fiance and I, as crazy as it sounds, we weren't really concerned for our own health and well-being. I know, crazy, but we were really concerned for the people around us. Like my mom, she is an older lady and she has her own health problems. So, you know, she is very high risk. Just the thought of potentially harming my mother or putting her in a life-threatening situation was very scary for me. But thankfully, everything's okay now. Please wear your masks, wash your hands. If not for you, do it for the people around you. Do it for the stranger on the street. My mother, so sweet. She was more concerned about Holly than she was about her own health, it seemed like. She wanted us to leave Holly in another area, leave her somewhere else, because poor Holly, what if she gets sick? The dogs can get it. My mom was highly concerned about Holly, but Holly is fine. Surprisingly enough, I read no books off of my TBR during quarantine, and like, I get it because I was in such a crummy state of mind. Why would I want to add to that by reading books that would potentially put me in a worse state of mind? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are books that I didn't enjoy, that I know I didn't enjoy. So far, 2 books out of 5 I haven't enjoyed. So it's like, why would I want to do that to myself? I did finish Frostblood right before we went into quarantine. And Sarah from A Novel Serendipity, I'm sure you will be glad to know that it was not a 1-star read this time around. However, I still didn't like it. I still think Part 1 dragged on longer than it needed to. I still think it was predictable. Part 2 was okay. At least we got a lot more action in Part 2 than was the dreariness of Part 1. I still didn't love the characters. I don't like Ruby. I don't like Arcus. The only character I really liked was the monk with the healing tea. I really liked him. Other than that, I was not a fan of the characters. The plot and the mythology, I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know if it's because I don't understand it. I want to say I understand it, but maybe like I really don't. But I don't like it. I have no interest in reading the rest of the series. I still don't know whether I want to give it a 2-star or a 3-star because, again, I didn't love it, but I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. But I do feel like, there's so many better books out there. I'm not entirely sure what my final rating is going to be. I think the reason that I gave it such a low rating the first time around is that up until that point, I hadn't read anything that I hadn't loved. This book took me 3 months to finish the first time around. It put me in a reading slump, which absolutely sucked because I had just started my booktube channel, and then all of a sudden I had no motivation to read absolutely anything. And I feel like that really influenced my feelings towards the book. I really blame it for putting me in a reading slump, which I don't think I had experienced before. Either I really liked a book and it was a 5 stars, or I didn't like a book and it was a 1 star. Like, I feel like that was my way of thinking back then, or at least how I took it with this book. So I feel like now I'm a little bit more critical, a little bit more nitpicky with my books. And now that I've expanded the books that I've read, I have a better notion of what I consider to be a 1-star read, what I consider to be a 5-star read. So I do feel like that has helped me change my rating on this book, is that I've read worse books than this. If you could see my work area right now, you would cry. It is December 15th and I have not read anything else off of my TBR. Mainly because I picked up other books that I was really interested in, and also we just had a really busy weekend. We did almost all of our Christmas shopping this weekend and that was pretty hectic. That honestly took the entire day, just going from place to place and trying to find all of our family members' gifts. This past weekend, my fiance and I also tried Korean barbecue for the first time, and it was such a delicious and wonderful experience. Not gonna lie, it was a little scary because, you know, you're actually cooking your food at the table. So for me, it was a little nerve-wracking, but it was so delicious. I had never tried Korean barbecue before, neither had my fiance. Honestly, our new favorite dining area experience. So anyways, all of that mixed in, I basically got no reading done at home. I have read some pretty great books though, so December is not a complete fail. I do plan on reading the other books on my TBR. I just haven't gotten to them yet. I should be starting on Marked tomorrow. I finished all of the books that I had left over from last week that were not on my TBR. Anyways, I also wanted to share that I got a super cute Christmas card from Lauren. Lauren is one of the very first people that I met on BookTube, and she is honestly so freaking sweet, so supportive. She's truly just such a genuine person. Look at how cute that is. Christmas truly is such a wonderful season. The holidays this time of year is just wonderful. Elle, happy holidays. I am so grateful to have you in my life. From Lauren. This is so sweet. I'm definitely going to display this on my bookshelves to have in my background. This is so sweet. I love this. Thank you, Lauren, so much. Is it really a vlog update if Holly isn't all up in my bubble? Yes, girl. Oh my god, girl. Ugh. Hold on. It's a card. It's not for you. You selfish dog. I think I'm going to wrap up this half of the vlog here. I feel like it is getting a little bit lengthy and I still have 3 books to get through. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below if you think I'm going to get through all 5 books on my TBR. Fingers crossed I get through all 5, but I will settle for 4. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and be on the lookout for part 2.